Hi gang, welcome to the channel. My name is Brian and I am an old man in the woods, and today is the third time I'm going to try and show you my tarp from Free Soldier. I've done this video, like I say, this is my third time. First time the sound come out awful, second time it was too windy, second time the battery went dead as well as being too windy. So we're going to give it another shot today here, so stick around. So this tarp from Free Soldier, I want to say it cost me about $45, something like that, on Amazon. It's 10 by 10 and I love this thing. I absolutely love it. It's polyester. Like I say, it's 10 by 10, and if I can get it out of the bag here, I'll show it to you. Bingo. So before we get rolling on this, let me show you the stitching on here. It's only single stitched here, but it's double stitched around the edges, and the seams, or the seam rather, singular, is taped as well. The all the tie-offs, all the tabs have this box stitching on them. The corners are reinforced. As I said, it's a single stitching. And this is a corner. This is part of your ridge line, and you can put it through the loops. You can run it through here. All kinds of little doodads. So let's go over to these trees over here, and I'll put it up in my most favorite configuration. This thing is so versatile, you can put it in a whole bunch of different configurations. But I use it with my hammock mostly, so let me show you that one first. I start on my second loop and then string my line through that, and I don't string it through the last loop on the other end either, just the ones in the middle. You're about to see why. Okay, so I've got them through all three. There's 5 loops across the top, and we'll show you the other ones in a bit. So now we tie this up in the tree. I've taken 2 pieces of line, maybe a foot long, 2 pieces of paracord, and all I'm going to do is fold 1 in half, put a knot in the end of it. Just like that. So now I have a big loop. Do the same thing with the other one. Incidentally, when you're working with paracord, go ahead and burn your ends. Be careful not to burn yourself, but twist them, because if you don't, I'll show you a picture of what your paracord looks like. You can fix it to a degree, but the inside of it comes apart from the outer shell. So there's my other one. Now what I'm going to do, take these, and we're going to make what's called a pressing knot. Where are we? You here? Here we are. And what I'm going to do is loop it around my line up there 3 times, just like this. Okay. And then I will take a stick or a twig and shove it in there, hook it up, and I'll show you this in a minute. And that's what's called a pressing knot. And you can slide this knot anywhere you want when there's no tension on it, but as soon as you put tension on it, she's staying where you put her. So let me do this and I'll get closer. Okay, bear with me, I'm working without a net here today. So I've got my line, and I'm going to run this just like this. Come around, do it again. Come around one last time and through. Make it all nice and neat. I'm hoping you can see this. Then I take my last loop, run it through there, run it through there, and now as long as there's no tension on this, you can move this wherever you want to. Once you put tension on here, it's not going anywhere. And generally, you're better off to use a thinner line for your pressing knot than what you're using for your guy line here. So you saw how I pulled on the other end there, and this is nice and tight now. Okay, so what I've done is just like the top, just like up top here, I've only did it from the second one in, the third, and then the last one. And I've left on both ends, I've left the flaps hanging. Now, what happens is, at night, when it gets too chilly, you can take and toggle your two loops off here, and then you're closed in on each end. And you've got more than enough room for your hammock and your gear right here. Now, I've got this pretty low, but even so, I'm just squatting here. But you got plenty of room for your hammock from end to end so that your hammock is covered and there's no danger of any water dripping down into your hammock. I had this set up back home. I set it up in the yard and it was raining. And I set it up and I left it up with my hammock strung in here. I left it there for 2 weeks. We had nothing but rain, solid rain. And it remained perfectly dry underneath. The hammock didn't get wet. I slept out there a couple of times. I did it in my front yard at home. But I wanted to test it out. The tarp didn't leak. Everything stayed dry. It was great. It was great. Now, I'm down in California now, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But right now I'm getting out of here because it's getting warm under this tarp. So, we'll just walk out of here. And granted, I understand that you're probably saying, oh, your trees are too far apart. Well, yes they are. They're too far apart to hang a hammock up in there. But they're not too far apart to hang up my tarp and give you an idea of how it looks and how it works. And just by looking at this, you can see that you could string this up like a regular pup tent kind of deal. Take these corners and stake them out down here, you know. if you wanted to. You can, well, there's a ton of different ways to set this tarp up. But I like it. It's the most versatile tarp I've ever had, I think. And it's fairly heavy. It weighs, oh, I want to say it's about 2.5 pounds. And it's a good size. It's like 5 or 6 by 12 when it's rolled up and put away in its stuff sack. And it does come with a stuff sack. It also comes with these. The tensioners. So if you did decide to put guy lines on it somewhere, you had something to tension the thing up with. But anyway, that's my tarp from Free Soldier. And like I say, I want to say I paid about $45 for it on Amazon, which is a pretty good deal as far as I'm concerned. It'll keep you dry, it'll keep you warm. It's not too bad to lug around in your backpack. And I like it. What can I say? It does what it's supposed to do. And again, this is my favorite configuration, but there are a ton of different ways you can do this. Just look on YouTube. I mean, this I forget his full page name, but it's Ugly Tent, I think. But he's got one of these, and he loves it too. And he goes through and shows you all kinds of different setups for it. So anyway, that's my tarp from Free Soldier, and I'm Brian. I am an old man in the woods. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me. Oh, by the way, before I go, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe these videos I do. It's just a hobby for me. I'm not making any money on it, although there is a way to donate into my PayPal account. But I'm not worried about that. All this stuff that I do, that I use, that I show you, I bought it. Nobody's sponsoring me. I'm not making any money at this deal. It's just me, just as a hobby. So please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.